How should our people deal with bad actors? In the face of the most extreme anti-American and incompetent version of the Democrat Party this nation has ever been cursed with, the GOP's solution has been to find a butt cheek of the nearest Democrat upon which to affix their lips. And without anyone to punish Democrats for not living up to standards, the left has run wild like drunken teenagers with mommy and daddy's credit card. We, the people, should insist those in power live up to American standards. That's our call to action in today's preamble. Let me start here. The Associated Press is full of corrupt, lying, childish leftists. Now, why do I say that? In the wake of the apparently unqualified Harvard president's resignation due to her Jew hatred and apparent plagiarism, the fake journalists at the AP chose to attack conservatives. The propagandists by the name of Colin Blinkley and Moira Ballingett wrote, quote, "The downfall of Harvard's president has elevated the threat of unearthing plagiarism, a cardinal sin in academia, as a possible new weapon in conservatives' attacks on higher education," end quote. So the AP writers didn't choose to condemn Gay for trying to excuse calls for Jewish genocide under the rubric of free speech, even knowing that conservatives who simply want limited government, equal justice under the law, and don't want women to be victimized by males being allowed to compete in women's sports, they had their voices silenced at Harvard. The fake journalists didn't condemn the apparent plagiarism allegedly undertaken by Gay. They blasted conservatives for trying to hold leftists to the standards the rest of us have to live under. In other words, the AP doesn't condemn the unethical and illegal act of plagiarism. Instead, they fret that many leftists could be driven from their perches of power and influence, perches they didn't earn. The AP suggests that leftists should be allowed to get away with breaking the law and the rules because the presence of left-wingers and their destructive ideas, well, that's what's important, you see. This is a hallmark of the worldwide left. They think the rules never apply to them. It's a shame those in charge on the right seem to agree with this two-tiered standard of justice. As President Trump is facing allegations that he is in possession of classified documents he was entitled to have as president, Joe Biden, with the silence and blessings, apparently, of the GOP, will get away with stealing classified information as far back as 1974. The GOP establishment seems to agree with the AP that Democrats shouldn't be held to any standards. We see the same phenomenon with the illegal immigration crisis. Left-wing mayors feeling the weight of the Democrats' illegal immigration campaign. They're blaming a man, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, a man with no responsibility for the U.S.-Mexico border, for the harm the Democrats' illegal immigration push is doing in their cities. Remember, the people of Texas didn't vote for this destruction, but left-wing states and sanctuary cities did. But these left-wing voters and politicians don't think they should have to pay a price for their support of illegal immigration. And when Governor Abbott made sure that left-wing cities got their fair share of Joe Biden and his regime's illegal aliens, they started to whine and cry. Here's failed New York socialist Mayor Eric Adams.
Have you been outsmarted by the Texas Governor, Greg Abbott?
No, anyone who has a diabolical mind would do diabolical things to just treat people in an inhumane way. We handle over 164,000 migrants and asylum seekers, and we're doing it in a humane way.
Oh, so it isn't the Biden regime, the folks unleashing over 9 million illegal aliens into our country, that is diabolical. It's Governor Greg Abbott who's trying to protect his state from the Democrats' lawless and anti-American behavior, who's to blame. See, just like the AP standard, it isn't Claudine Gay who is responsible for her congressional testimony or actions of alleged plagiarism. It's conservatives' fault for upholding standards. And it isn't Joe Biden's fault that his regime has let in over 9 million illegal aliens, placing immense burdens onto the American people. It's Governor Abbott's fault for not bending Texas over and accepting all the harm Democrats are dishing out. It isn't Joe Biden's fault that he's been stealing classified information since 1974. It's our fault for thinking the laws should apply equally to Democrats. It's beyond debate. The leftists are insane, whether they be from the AP, academia, or the Democrat Party. These people are foot-stomping, entitled, certifiable brats. It's my sad duty to report that the GOP is the equivalent of bad, permissive parents who, instead of making the left pay a price for their myriad transgressions, instead cover for, facilitate, or ignore the bad behavior. The good news is, those of us who know right from wrong, those of us who demand equal treatment, those who understand that standards exist, American standards, Republican standards, and that those standards need to be lived up to, we outnumber them. And it's high time we acted like it.